Chapter 1. The Identity Shock. If you stopped working tomorrow, how long would your life stay exactly the same? A week? A month? Be honest. If your income disappears the moment you stop showing up, you don't own a financial system. You own a job. And there's nothing wrong with having a job. The problem is believing that a job equals wealth. It doesn't. A career depends on your continued performance. Wealth depends on structure. One needs you every day. The other keeps working when you don't. This isn't an attack on effort. Effort is honorable. But if your entire financial life depends on your physical presence, your future is tied to your stamina. And stamina fades. Jobs create income. Systems create wealth. So let me ask you something uncomfortable. If you stop today, what continues? Because the goal was never to be busy. The goal was to be free. And freedom begins the moment you realize you're not building an engine. You're renting one. Now, let's talk about the cage most people never notice. Chapter 2. The Invisible Cage. Your salary hits your account. Rent is covered. Bills are paid. You exhale. It feels safe. Then comes the promotion. A better title, a higher number, a small dopamine hit. You tell yourself you're advancing. But pause for a second. Who owns the system that pays you? You improve. You grow. You perform. But the architecture never changes. You are operating inside someone else's structure, someone else's equity, someone else's upside. You can climb for 30 years. If the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall, you still lose. This is the invisible cage. Not poverty, not laziness. Structure. You are paid for performance. But you don't participate in ownership. And ownership is where compounding lives. This isn't injustice. It's economics. Labor gets paid. Ownership gets rich. As long as you stay only in the performance economy, your upside will be negotiated. Your ceiling will be reviewed. Your growth will be approved by someone else. And the cage doesn't feel like a cage. It feels comfortable. That's why it's dangerous. Now, let's look at the equation that keeps this alive. Chapter 3. The Wealth Equation. Nobody shows you. There's an equation running quietly in your life. No one explains it to you. Earned income requires your presence. You show up. You perform. You get paid. You stop. It stops. Simple. Linear. Limited. Engineered income works differently. You build it once. Position it correctly. Let time work. It doesn't ask for your daily attendance. That's why people like Warren Buffett focused on buying productive assets instead of chasing bigger salaries. They weren't maximizing effort. They were building engines. Earned income feeds you. Engineered income frees you. Most people try to increase the left side. Few redesign the equation. They ask, how can I earn more this year? Instead of asking, how can I build something that pays for decades? Here's the uncomfortable truth. If your financial model depends entirely on you, It has a ceiling, and time becomes your enemy. You don't need to quit your job. You need to convert part of your income into ownership. That conversion is where wealth actually begins. But there's a biological reality most people ignore. Chapter 4. The Energy Decay Principle. Right now, you feel capable. You can work late, recover fast, push harder than most. It feels permanent. It isn't. Energy declines. Focus changes. Health becomes a variable. Expenses don't decline with you. Responsibilities grow. If your wealth strategy requires peak performance from you for the next 30 years, that's fragile. Your skills are your first asset, but human capital is perishable. Financial capital, when allocated well, is durable. The goal isn't to escape work tomorrow. It's to make sure your future doesn't depend entirely on your stamina. Every year, you delay converting income into ownership. Your compounding window shrinks. This isn't fear. It's math. Time either multiplies your assets or exposes your dependency, and dependency becomes expensive. Now let's talk about something even more deceptive. High income. Chapter 5. The high income illusion. You get a raise. The bonus hits. The contract renews. You feel like you've made it. Then something subtle happens. The apartment upgrades. The car improves. Subscriptions multiply. Standards rise. Luxury becomes baseline. This is the consumption escalator. The more you earn, the more you normalize. And here's the trap. High income without ownership creates high dependency. Now, you can't afford disruption. You protect the paycheck at all costs. You avoid risk. You avoid volatility. You call it responsibility. But it's fragility. Wealth is not how much flows in. It's how little of your life depends on that flow. Income can rise for 20 years. Ownership barely moves. That's the illusion. The real question isn't, how much do you make? It's, how much of what you make works without you? And this leads to a very specific turning point. Chapter 6. The Ownership Threshold. Wealth doesn't start at $1 million. It starts the day your assets can cover your basic living expenses. That's it. That's the ownership threshold. Not status, not flexing online. Structure. When your essentials are funded by assets instead of effort. Something changes. You negotiate differently. You think differently. You tolerate volatility differently. Fear loses its grip. Until that threshold is crossed, every decision is slightly influenced by survival. Once crossed, you move from desperation to strategy. Calculate your essential expenses. Now calculate what asset base would generate that amount annually. That's your number. Not comparison. Not ego. Freedom becomes functional the moment survival is owned. But to reach it, your identity has to shift. Chapter 7. The Allocator Mindset Shift. Up until now, you've been thinking like a performer. How do I increase income? How do I improve my position? Now, the question changes. Where is each dollar going? Money is stored effort. Every dollar represents hours of your life converted into capital. What happens next determines everything. When income hits your account, you have 3 choices: spend it, save it, or assign it a mission. Spending satisfies. Saving preserves. Allocation compounds. An allocator doesn't ask how hard he's working. He asks, what percentage of my effort becomes ownership? That single question separates employees from builders. If you stepped away for 6 months, what would still pay you? If the answer is nothing, the strategy is incomplete. Leverage isn't recklessness. It's positioning, buying productive capacity instead of temporary comfort, quietly, consistently, and over time, the gap widens. Now we need to talk about time itself, because time either works for you or it reverses on you. Chapter 8. The Time Reversal Insight. When you're young, you have energy, so you trade time for money. That makes sense. But here's the trap. If you spend your strongest decades only converting time into lifestyle, you arrive later with less energy and still dependent on activity. Time reverses. When you're older, you don't want to trade time for money. You want money to protect your time. You want flexibility, control, choice. If you never convert one into the other, you stay trapped in that reversal. Wealth isn't about money. It's about removing urgency. Urgency forces bad decisions. Urgency keeps you in rooms you've outgrown. Ownership removes urgency. When assets generate income without your presence, you gain optionality. You choose projects. You walk away without panic. You negotiate without fear. Stop trading time for money as your only strategy. Start building ownership quietly, patiently, intentionally. Freedom is engineered long before it is experienced. And the earlier you start building structure, the less your future depends on stamina. EmployeeToOwner. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter of your transition from employee to owner. Thank you for following the content.